here living this life, and I feel on a different wavelength of happiness than I've ever felt before. All of my life, I've been a really indecisive person, and I've been the type of person who always needs someone's opinion on my decisions and what I want to do, and just always listening to what others have to say over trusting my intuition. And a few months ago, in October of 2022, I made a huge life-changing decision to move out of the city that I had been living in for the past 7 years into a town where I had no idea if I would enjoy living there. I had no idea what was going to happen with my life, but I just had this distinct feeling that I wanted to move, and I just really felt it from within me, like a feeling from my intuition. And it was challenging this idea that I had my whole life, that I needed everyone to agree with my decisions, and it had to make sense to everyone for me to be able to do something. And it was just a big shift in my life where I had to realize that it's up to me to do the things that I want to do and to trust my intuition. And as a result of trusting in my intuition and making this move, I have actually become a much happier person, and I'm in a much happier place in my life. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because I just feel like if you're the type of person who can be not so confident with making their decisions and kind of live your life for other people, it's really important to focus on what you actually want out of life, and kind of to stop using people as a crutch to make your decisions. Because when I was moving out of the city that I was in, I was living in the city of Chicago, which is an amazing city to live in, moving to a place that's a much smaller town that doesn't seem as glamorized or amazing to other people. And I was getting a lot of judgment from the people who lived in my city, and they were all just like, why would you move there? And even my friends were like, I feel like that's like a step back for you. Like, it just didn't make sense to other people. But deep down, I just really felt that it was the right decision for me. And I spoke to a therapist for months about making this decision. I agonized over it. It was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make. And it really all came down to me and what I wanted out of life. And so that's why I feel like the most important thing out of life is that life is so short that you really need to trust the little subtle nudges from your intuition and the universe of the next steps that you need to take, or the next phases that you need to enter in your life. And since I moved here, it's been about 3 months, and I have seen a significant increase in my happiness here. And that just shows that trusting in the universe and trusting in your intuition is really the biggest part of reaching your desired level of happiness. Like, I feel like your desired level of happiness is just on the other side of some of the biggest decisions you have to make, but your intuition is constantly guiding you and trying to help you get to that place. And it wasn't like some glaring sign from the universe that's like, you need to move out of Chicago. It's just a subtle feeling that I felt for about a year before I actually made the move. And the feeling just got stronger and stronger and stronger. And then I had some like crazy life-altering thing happen to me, which was a breakup. And that kind of really propelled me to actually make the decision. And one thing I wanted to say is, if you're kind of like me a year ago when I was just starting to get those feelings about wanting to move, and you're like, oh, I just have this feeling, but I'm not doing anything about it, I just want to say that when the timing is right, you will do something about it. Like, the universe will put something in your life that'll force you to move, or something will happen, like a breakup. Like, when the timing is right, what you want to happen will happen. And now that I've been living here, I am on a different level of happiness that I have felt probably ever in my life. I am focusing so much on my growth and spiritual healing, and that's why I wanted to move out of a city with a lot of like fun distractions, because I really just wanted to focus on my inner self and doing all the things that I can do to heal my depression and heal from the breakup that I'm going through. So this move has been one of the best decisions I've ever made, and even though I was not trusting myself throughout the process, I was so going back and forth, like, is this the right decision for me? Asking everyone about it, but ultimately it was a decision that was up to me, and I felt excited about it. And that's another thing is, when you're trying to make a big decision, do you feel excited about the opportunity to try this new thing, or does it not really sit that right with you? And I think asking yourself that question and seeing what feelings come up can be really beneficial. Something that I've really started to notice from this whole process of making this huge decision to move to a new city and having so many different opinions and perceptions placed on me when making this decision is that everyone has a different idea of what their ideal life looks like for them. And because I was in a city where everyone there wanted to live in a big city and enjoyed that environment, it makes sense that none of them would understand why I would want to move to a smaller town where it's a slower pace of life. And so that's kind of something I've really had to come to terms with when making decisions now, is that no one else will really truly understand what you want better than you, because everyone has a different idea of what their best life looks like for them, and your idea of your best ideal life doesn't have anything to do with what someone else's best life looks like. And that's why you may be getting these judgments from other people when making these decisions. It can be really hard to trust your intuition, especially when you are making such a huge decision like this. But ultimately, like I said, only you know what's best for you. And your intuition, it definitely knows what's best for you. And I just wanted to say how worth it is to trust your decisions and trust your intuition, because I really feel like I have shifted into the highest timeline of my life. I feel that only good things are coming to me. I feel so happy every single day. The days just fly by, and I'm just so amazed at what miracles I'm experiencing and how differently I see the world, and how much more this slower paced life has made me feel so much more spiritual and connected to the world around me and the people around me. And I feel like moving to a new place has really made life feel new again.
Whatever phase or whatever thing we're feeling right now is going to be forever. But if you're not dating right now, doesn't mean you're going to be single for the rest of your life. If you're not hanging out with your friends a lot right now, doesn't mean that you're going to be lonely and not have friends for the rest of your life, right?
Wow. I love the car wash.
So I'm a little scared to be filming this, not gonna lie, because I'm like in a parking garage, but like really quickly, I just want to say that I've been going to like the best yoga classes here, and like literally 1 year ago I was in this city with my parents, and they were like, oh, you should move here and you could go to that yoga studio and it would be so nice. And I was like, I would never move here, like that seems horrible, like that life seems horrible. And 1 year later, I'm here living this life, and I feel on a different wavelength of happiness than I've ever felt before. I feel so like safe here. It's just so crazy, and I just really want to keep going to more yoga classes, because when I'm there, I feel like at the start of the class I'm like my like human self or whatever, but by the end of the class I feel like I'm so connected to like my deep inner core like soul, and it's just been so transformative. And I just feel like this is the start of the best phase of my life, and I can just feel it, and I'm just so excited and just wanted to share that. I don't know why, I just felt like rambling a little bit, but I just feel like in this like period of time, I literally just want to do things that feel as authentic as possible to me, like spread or just like surround myself with people who feel extremely authentic, like our relationship feels authentic, do work that feels meaningful and authentic to me. I just feel very like clear-minded at this point in my life, just because of the big changes I've made with moving to a new city, and I just feel like I'm starting to be more in alignment with where I'm supposed to be. And so I just feel like from here on out, I just really want things to feel as authentic as I feel in myself and my intuition right now. So just a little musing I had right now, but yeah, I've just been thinking about how clear I feel lately and how trusting my intuition literally brought me so much happiness and made me realize that I really did make the best decision for me, despite people thinking that it wasn't a good one. So if you take anything from this video, it's to not be afraid to make decisions that work for you. Even if you're getting so much judgment from other people, that means nothing. Unless it's like a dangerous decision, then maybe you should listen to other people. But for decisions that like this, like a move or a job change or a career change or anything like that, you know what's best for you. And it may hurt the other people around you, or it may feel like you're letting them down, but once you make that decision and settle into that decision, you will feel so much better, and you will see what's on the other side of that fear that you've been feeling. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for listening to my journey, and definitely feel free to subscribe if you want more videos like this. Thank you. Bye.